Debate over the debate moderators continues. The right has predictably blamed ABC News' presidential debate moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis for biased questions and fact checks. Take a listen to Megyn Kelly.
I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm ashamed of those moderators at ABC News. They did exactly what their bosses wanted them to do. The person who runs ABC News is a close personal friend of Kamala Harris, that is responsible for Kamala Harris and her husband meeting. And they did Dana Walden's bidding tonight. It was 3 against 1 on that debate stage this evening. Hi, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly, a special program tonight for you reacting to the debate. It was 3 against 1. It's very easy to look like you know what you're doing when both moderators are entirely on your side. Trump did the best he could under the circumstances, but it really was like 3 fighters in the ring pummeling one opponent. And Trump tried to take them all on. He did fine. He did as best as he could. He was thrown a few times to the point where he was unnecessarily defensive and he was getting angry. And so was I. Were you? This was a mistake to trust ABC News.
Over on MSNBC, though, Morning Joe thought the debate moderators were too easy on Trump. Let's watch.
Anybody that thinks that's why he lost the debate, that he was corrected 3 times on, well, but, you know, he got about 7 minutes more than he was supposed to because the debate moderators allowed him to keep breaking the rules. Every answer she had, they would try to move on to something else. He would blurt something else, crazy stuff for a minute or 2 minutes, breaking the rules. And I was actually sitting there going, are you going to enforce your rules or not? I mean, I don't know if you remember, but when he came on our show, he didn't talk over us. No. Or we hung up. So
too easy on Trump. Look, they could have, I agree that the moderation was absolutely terrible. It gets worse the more I think about it. They fact-checked Trump, and they didn't fact-check Harris, and there were things they could have fact-checked her on. Trump spoke more because they engaged in combat with him. They should have left that to her. They should have done it exactly the way that CNN handled the first debate, where they left it to Trump to correct things Biden was saying, Biden to correct things Trump was saying. Biden didn't do a very good job of that, as the entire world got to see. But they presented the questions. I think there were 1 or 2 times where Jake Tapper, Dana Bash said, I'm not sure that was an answer to the question. Would you like to answer it? And then they moved on. That was the way to handle it. These people, Muir and his co-host, they just fact-checked Trump, and in some cases where it's ambiguous or it's debate, they got into an exchange with him about the crime rates. So yes, crime rates have gone down, but it depends on what time frame you're talking about. It depends where you're talking about. And the conservative answer to the FBI's claims that crime is going down is, well, not all police municipalities are reporting data to the FBI anymore, and are certain high crime areas no longer being counted. It's a complicated picture, which is exactly what the debate should do. Kamala Harris can say, well, crime is actually going down, and here's what the statistics say. And then Donald Trump could respond, well, that's not true because of this, so and so on and so forth reason. The moderators don't need to say, well, actually, your claim is wrong, Donald Trump. Moving on to Kamala Harris, like, that's what it was. It happened repeatedly, and it was totally one-sided.
I disagree. I think, if we're talking about the debate moderators doing a good job or not, that they're the reason he lost, you're clearly on the losing side. And Trump is just taking this loss so poorly. When he was directly asked questions, he didn't answer them. When he was asked about killing the bipartisan immigration bill, he started talking about Kamala Harris and how they failed to get done the student loan forgiveness plan because it was blocked in the courts. He didn't answer the questions he was asked. That's why he lost. He didn't lose because he lied. Everybody knows he lies. He gets fact-checked in the media all the time. It's interesting to see how angry Megyn Kelly is, though, because very recently, within a year of time, I believe, it was September 2023, so I guess it's a year away now, she sat down with Donald Trump and asked about his comments directed towards women, saying they're fat pigs, dog slobs, and disgusting animals. Trump left that interview with Megyn Kelly and said you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever. He said in September of 23 that she was nasty. He insinuated that she was on her period and that's why she was asking tough questions. So, this idea that now she's jumping to his defense because the moderators simply fact check him, it's just all for clicks and it's all for views. And they found that this was an attack line that would win because exit polling shows that Harris won this debate by 23 points. And polling asked to people who watched the debate shows that overwhelmingly people believe Harris won. So it's an incredible cope and it makes people look worse and it makes him look weaker at a time where he's saying he doesn't want to debate again.
Well, I would not want to debate again under those conditions where just one side is going to be fact-checked. I'm sorry.
Well, he said even
you
on Fox News.
You can think he lost the debate. That's fine. I think he did squander several opportunities to explain his vision for this country. I think he was asked, he was kept on unfriendly subjects repeatedly by the moderators. Look, they could have interjected, or they could have, after Kamala Harris claimed that Trump was threatening political violence over saying it's going to be a bloodbath if he loses. That was clearly referencing the economic situation, saying that the state of the economy will be a bloodbath if he loses. So chalking that up to political violence was a wrongful statement on her part. They did not step in to correct that, which again is fine. I don't think they should, but they shouldn't have done it on the other side either. And, she didn't get any questions. He got questions again and again about January 6th, which he's answered and given his views on the past election a million times now. I think it's fine to think his attitude toward that is absolutely disqualifying, but it's not like we're breaking exactly new ground here. Meanwhile, she got no questions about the sitting president, Joe Biden, about her knowledge of his cognitive decline, which she, I believe, is absolutely complicit in covering up. No questions about his fitness to be the president right now. So it was just all conducted on hostile and unfair and unfriendly ground to Donald Trump. In stark contrast, again, with the previous debate, this isn't even like a criticism of the media writ large. Clearly, CNN demonstrated they could have done, that they did a fair debate. I'd be fine with them doing it again, Dana Bash and Jake Tapper, but these people, no way, never again.
Well, he did say it would be a bloodbath. She didn't need to say the context. She was pointing out that this is a guy who regularly uses violent words to describe things. That's true. It's true that he said the words, it was a bloodbath. The idea that he was talking about a civil war is not something she said in the way that other people have insinuated when quoting Trump on that. So, no, she didn't lie in the debate. Trump did many times. I think it's fine he was fact-checked. I don't think that's the reason he lost. Harris was asked tough questions. She's not Joe Biden. She said that on the debate stage. She should be asked about her policies and her plans as president. That's what the American people are interested in. You might disagree with the questions they chose to ask, but in the interest of fairness, I don't think the moderators did anything wrong by correcting the record when Trump deliberately lied about several things on the debate stage. It's dangerous to have millions of people watching and have the record go uncorrected. So I actually don't disagree with the moderators live fact checking the debate. There were even some lies that Trump said that they missed. It is true that crime is down. And if you look at the data reported by police precincts in the largest cities across the country, there are very few exceptions. Washington, D.C. is one where there are some metrics of crime that have gone up, but violent crime is down across the country. And so this idea that Donald Trump has to lie to make his fear-mongering rhetoric around, oh, crime is up, they're eating your pets, this and that. He has to lie to make his fear-mongering work. That's a sad state of affairs for our country, and he deserves to lose if that's his approach to politics.
I mean, I think there were certainly statements that she made that could have been fact-checked. She said, for instance, there's not one member of the military who's in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world for the first time this century. That is technically true, but thousands of troops in Iraq, U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria are still in dangerous situations. A U.S. troop was killed, obviously, in Jordan in January in that base in Syria. This is fact-checked by NPR. Her statement that Trump had left us the worst economy since the Great Depression was obviously that was because of COVID. And then by the time he had left office, the situation had improved enough that it was no longer the worst situation since the Great Depression. So again, these are not things that I actually think it was the moderator's job to bring up. I think it was Trump's job to bring that up. It just shouldn't be one-sided because it was like Trump debating Kamala Harris and two other people. If they're going to have that, then they should have one of the moderators have some sympathy or friendliness or rapport with the right or with Trump so that then he can prosecute against Kamala Harris when things are said that could be corrected or complicated. Again, that would not be my ideal. My ideal would be the way they did it last time. That does it for us today, however, on Rising. Great being with you today. Jessica, nice sharing this space virtually one last time. Of course, Amber will be in here tomorrow, as will you. Are you hosting tomorrow?
Yes. Yes,
Great.
It will be me and Amber back for another Rising Fridays in the old studio before you all move on to the very shiny place that Robby says it looks like it's made for a TV set about a news show.
It's a news show about a news show. We're going to get more and more meta, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get started. For now, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're available anywhere you listen to podcasts, and I will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.